A resident electoral commissioner of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), 3 governors, academics, names withheld, who participated in general elections between 2019 and this year, as well as some top security officials, are on the list of Nigerians affected by the latest United States of America's visa restriction. In addition, some top politicians and chieftains in the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) and the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party (PDP), have been added to the list of electoral offenders. Daily Sun also gathered that other prominent Nigerians, including lawmakers, were affected by the visa restriction for allegedly undermining the electoral process in the 2019 general election and some staggered elections held between last year and this year. A governor in the north reportedly had his visa restriction extended in the latest review, while 2 others were added to the list. It was Lance. Also on the list are 2 senior media practitioners from the south. On Monday, September 14, the U.S. government made good its threat to impose visa restrictions on individuals responsible for acts of violence, intimidation, and corruption during the November 2019 elections in Kogi and Bayelsa states. It equally vowed to impose restrictions on individuals who engage in violent conduct in the yet-to-be-held Edo and Ondo state governorship elections. In a statement by spokesperson of the United States Department of State, Morgan Ortagus, the U.S., being a steadfast supporter of Nigeria's democracy, commended Nigerians who participated in elections throughout 2019 and have worked to strengthen the country's democratic institutions and processes. She, however, said the U.S. remained committed to working together with Nigeria to advance democracy and respect for human rights and achieve greater peace and prosperity for both countries. Barely 24 hours after the US action, the United Kingdom (UK) has announced that it would impose ban on those involved in violence during the forthcoming Edo and Ondo state gubernatorial elections. In a statement released yesterday by the British High Commission, Abuja, the UK took a step further as it said it would impose restrictions on access to UK-based assets for electoral offenders or prosecute them under international law. The UK said it would deploy observation missions to both Edo and Ondo elections and support civil society-led observers. It added that it took a strong stand against election-related violence and that just as it did in the general election in 2019, it will continue to take actions against individuals it identified as being responsible for violence in Nigerian elections. This could include restrictions on their eligibility to travel to the UK, restrictions on the access to UK-based assets, or prosecution under international law. The UK will continue to provide support and engagement as we move towards these elections. We urge INEC, the police, and all other agencies involved to work together to deliver free, fair, and credible elections. The UK said, as a friend and partner of Nigeria, it was closely following the lead up to the off-cycle governorship elections in the Edo and Ondo states, scheduled for September 19 and October 10, respectively. It noted that the elections were important both as an essential element of effective governance within both states and an indicator of the strength of Nigeria's democratic institutions. Our High Commissioner to Nigeria, Katrina Leng, has held meetings with leaders of the 2 main political parties, APC and PDP. The discussions focused on the need for parties' leaders to prevail on supporters to avoid violence before and after elections, and we welcome the Edo candidate's signature of the National Peace Committee and INEC convened peace accord today. The United States and the United Kingdom had in January 2019 said they would restrict electoral offenders and their families from traveling to both countries. The UK particularly said in March 2019 that it was reviewing the events of the 2019 election and would take action on visa restrictions accordingly. So guys, when people come out, because I've been hearing a lot of people saying that, what is the big deal? What is the whatever? What is in America? What is in the UK? This and that. To you, it's nothing. But go and ask those who are affected. And I hope these people will be able to answer journalists when they begin to ask them that, what do they think? What do they see? What do they feel about this whole thing? It might be nothing to you, but to them, you feel it's nothing to you, but all those politicians, they know what it is. And again, it's not about maybe what is special about these countries. It shows, it's an embarrassment that somebody who has the character of violence, somebody who is always causing trouble. When you talk about a violence, it's like you're speaking one kind of English. Troublemaker. When you say troublemaker, we will understand it. It shows that these guys are troublemaker. They be jaguda. The way it is, so you can imagine to ban somebody. You know what it means? You know, another way, when they ostracize somebody, do you know what it means? Once they ban somebody, say, you no go enter this village. You make you look at in that line. You no go enter this village. That means say your face, it don't big like this. People will just they look you one kind. You know what it mean? If you see jaguda, you go want me jaguda call your house. You no go want me jaguda call your house. That is exactly what it means. Forget all this English that they banned. That is exactly what it means. If you think deeply, it goes beyond maybe they are just going there. It shows a sign of irresponsibility on the part of the so-called people that have been mentioned. You can imagine. They say, I beg you, forget it. Deep down in them, it goes beyond that. Like they always say, a good name is better than riches and wealth. A good name. A good name. Forget all the whatever they've gathered for themselves, all the money they've gathered for themselves legally and illegally. Forget it. Good name is better than riches and wealth. Look at all of them from A to Z. They will just be bragging. They will be forming big men in Nigeria. They will be forming big men. Even we in Nigeria, we know it that it is nothing. Nobody respects them. How do all of them get money? How did they come about their money? What have they invested? They are just sucking, making from the cover of this of the country. And yet, some people say, I beg you, what is the big deal about US? What is the big deal about UK? Let them this and that, this and this and this and that. No, it goes beyond seizing their assets. It goes beyond restricting them from coming. It shows that they be jaguda. Those people, they be jaguda. If I say, when they give somebody a restraining order, do you know what it means? It goes beyond that. If you don't know it, let's know it now. Know it now. Now they have included some lawmakers. They've included some INEC officials. All of them. Na so. Both PDP and APC, all of them. Because they say pikin will be say if mama teach for house where here. Now outside they go teach and come. It's not maybe they are trying to usurp power. It is their country. They decide who to come to their country or who not to come to their country. And if some of their supporters who are feeling, why would they be interfering in our policies? They are not interfering. If you want to do the same thing, you can tell them. Even if you pick holes in their elections or whatever, Nigeria is very free to restrict them. It is your country. You can tell who to enter, who not to enter. That is just the way it works. And to sum it up, wetin they won't come find for your country, all those their politicians, wetin they won't come find, wetin dey wey they won't come find, they won't come buy land, they can't they build that, they can't they acquire assets, who does that? Let us know. Tell me who among all those Western world politicians that have come to Nigeria to buy houses, to buy land, or to send their children to our schools. Tell me. It doesn't matter. See, we are the ones who fooling ourselves. We are the ones fooling ourselves. Nobody is interfering. Nobody is whatever. If you feel otherwise, you can do the same thing. Just the way this lockdown, that any country who is not going to allow Nigerians to go to their country, they themselves, they will reciprocate. And it is in their own right. It is in their rights. It is in the right of Nigerian government to do that, and they are doing that. So if they feel otherwise, they feel slighted, you can do the same thing. Because some people have been saying, even Trump's this thing, the election in the US, is it free and fair? If it is not free and fair, you do the same thing. Nobody say make you no do. But to me, it goes beyond banning them or restricting them, but it goes a long way that these people, person where they restrict, say no come my house. You don't know what it means. You just say the person, beg, make you no come my house. So it speaks volume. That's what we are talking about. It speaks volume. If Nigerians could not handle them, if Nigerians cry, they could not handle them. That is, an outsider will deal with them. They don't even have respect. They don't have respect. They just believe that in acquiring money that is not even their own, money that they are supposed to use to to treat the citizens well. No, they won't do that. You see our schools, all of them. You can see Oshibaju, Saraki, all of them, all the politicians, and all of them, all their children are schooling abroad. And yet, even this, all of them, even Buhari, all of them, their children are schooling abroad. Yet, see what is happening in our own country. See our education. They don't care about you. Buhari will go to UK for hospital. All of them will go to UK for hospital, for treatment, go to their hospitals. And yet they don't have that mind. Somebody will come and be telling you, yes, so he's a listening president. Says who? If see God, there's a way. Since that is the only weapon we have. At the end of the day, we cry to God. In as much, I've always said it. In as much, God recognizes the government. Any government in this world is the one who has institutionalized any government in this world. So if they do anyhow, they go see anyhow. Whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, whether you say there's God or not, God has hand in your government, every government of the world. If you do anyhow, you will see anyhow. God knows how to deal with them. So that is the only weapon we have, because we have talked. Now they don't even want you to protest. They don't want you to say anything. They begin to give you names. So what are we talking about? Little by little, gradually by like that, they will be disgraced. All of them will be put to shame. So guys, leave your comments below and let us have your take on this. Thank you.